I'm going to take the Y strap. I'm going to relax and extend. And when I feel Chet is relaxed, I'm going to give them a quick impulse. So we just saw a couple little patients and they both had acid reflux. So how in the world does a chiropractic adjustment help with acid reflux? Let me explain something. So what happens during the birthing process, just being a kid, these vertebrae will become misaligned and you have nerve tracts here that go all the way to the stomach. So watch my finger. So at T6, T7, T8, and T9, all these thoracic vertebrae, you'll get a pinching of the nerves right here. It goes to the celiac ganglion and it'll affect the stomach. So that's why kids with reflux, especially toddlers and infants, do amazing with chiropractic care. So if you know anybody suffering with acid reflux, colic, gassy, chiropractic care does amazing. Get them in here. So if you notice what I do is I actually palpate the spine. That's a fancy word for feel. Up and down on the vertebrae. And what we do is the vertebrae rotate like this and like that, or like this and that, and so that's called a subluxation. So what we do is we take our fingers, we actually put them on these parts right here, the transverse process, and we make an adjustment like that. And that'll be enough pressure to adjust the vertebrae, freeing up all those yellow things, those nerves there. So watch how the vertebrae rotates and pinches that nerve. So by unpinching that nerve, it frees it up. So watch this movement right here. So that's why you can take all the Aleve, Advil, ibuprofen, and it's not until patients come and get adjusted, it takes all the pressure off that nerve and it's instant relief. That's why patients love coming to the chiropractor.
Hi.
You're Laura, right?
No, it's not.
Good to see you, I know, I missed you. Big breath in there for me. Let it all the way out there. Oh, that was so good. Good, relax, nice and easy.
Whoa. That goes so good.
That was a lot of
That goes so good.
We're gonna get your headache free, relax, lift the chin there.
Ooh.
Yes, ma'am. That's how we do it.
My goodness.
My goodness, a whole lot of healing going on. Okay, so now, Laura, you're gonna lay face up. Okay. You're gonna drape your knees over the side of the bench here, okay? I'm gonna do what's called a cervical distraction. You'll love it. What it does, it releases where your skull meets your neck. It takes all the pinch off those nerves, okay?
All right.
Yep, go ahead and lay nice little distraction right here.
Oh my gosh.
Should we do a parasympathetic adjustment today?
Yeah.
Got it, brother. Take a big breath in there. Let it all the way out there, Emerson. Relax. There you go, folks. Relax. Oh my gosh, that was so good. So, YouTube family, if you look at his hands, see how they're red compared to this up here? He has a disease called Raynaud's. And Raynaud's is when you have lack of circulation in the hands. So that's why his hands are discolored compared to the rest of them. So by adjusting the lower neck and opening up the nerve and blood flow, that's helped his Raynaud's. And a lot of people don't realize that chiropractic can be efficacious for Raynaud's syndrome. Just like in this young man, right?
Yes.
There you go,
Yes.
my man.
All right, thank you.
Pre-chiropractic, let's do it.
And the worst thing is I literally got x-rays literally the day before the first.
There you go. Awesome on your side there. Good, good, good. There you go. Leroy has a retrolithesis. That means the L5 vertebrae slip backwards. Retro means backwards, posterior. So this machine presses the vertebrae forward and takes the pinch off the nerve. Leroy's all about it. He had a condition called a retrolithesis. So retro means backwards. So what happened is you have 5 lumbar vertebrae, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? The 5th lumbar vertebrae slipped backwards. That's called a retrolithesis. And what happened is when that vertebrae slipped backwards, it pinched the nerves right here. So he was having severe pain down both the legs. That condition is called sciatica. So we put him under a care plan. We started correcting the L5 retrolithesis. And after the first 12 visits or 1 month of care, 100% pain-free. So this is the power of chiropractic in restoring the structure of the spine.
because structure dictates function.
Alrighty, so Evan, we're gonna go over your x-rays now, okay?
Okay.
So what concerns me right now, on this vertebra right here, it's actually pushed backward. Can you see that, Evan?
I do, yeah.
Okay, here's why this is important. When we look at this nerve chart, there's C1, C2, C3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Look at the nerve, how it goes from here all the way down the arm there. So the numbness and tingling that you're having is actually based starting from your neck.
Wow.
So today is going to be an exciting day because we're going to adjust your neck today, Evan. And by aligning up your neck, that's going to help take pressure off the nerve root right here, and that's going to reduce your symptoms.
I would have never guessed that's connected.
Exactly. So here's what happens, is people think their compression is right here, which is possible. You can have what they call the double crush. It can be crushed here and here,
Right.
but we have to clear this area first. So what happens, Evan, is people get surgery here, but if the problem is never corrected here, this surgery doesn't help. So we can basically prevent people from having surgeries through proper chiropractic care. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. So that's your neck here, okay? And then we're going to talk about the lower back here. I can already tell where you're having your lower back pain.
Yeah.
So when you get your lower back pain, it's down here at the belt line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay? So you have a reduced lumbar curvature. So this space here, right here, is smaller than the ones above it. And if you look at that opening right here, that should be nice and open like the ones above it right here. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So that's reduced. So we're going to adjust this vertebra right here. When that vertebrae goes out of alignment, it can manifest with pain into your hamstrings, the back of the leg, the calf, and the top of the foot. And we just talked about that earlier. You're having some of that, okay? So we're going to do an adjustment at the L5 vertebrae as well there, okay? You excited, Evan?
I am.
So let's work some magic on your spine, okay?
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it, Evan. So now that we have the x-rays, we're going to start a process of adjusting your spine up and reduce the pressure. And then in a moment, when I tell you, Evan, hold on, not yet, Evan.
Okay.
I know you're excited. I'm gonna give you a minute here. You're going to take a deep breath in.
Okay.
You let it all the way out. At the very end, you're going to feel my hands go like this in an impulse. And that'll be enough pressure to adjust the vertebrae.
Okay.
Deep breath there, buddy. All the way out, and then pressure right there. How'd that feel, Evan?
Amazing.
Awesome. You did great.
Ooh.
The magic's happening already.
I felt that.
Right there. Good
Oh,
job.
that's magical.
There. How was that?
Good.
Good. Awesome. Good job, Evan. And just relax the shoulders, Evan.
Wow. I know y'all heard that.
And
Woo!
what's going on, Mr. Bones? He's had a rough week. We've been using him a lot. He's a little tired today. What's going on, Bones? Doing good. Okay, good. Oh, okay. You have a little malocclusion. That's a fancy word for misalignment of the jaw there. He needs a TMJ adjustment. That's the next video. So, Evan, we're going to adjust your carpals. We're going to adjust this carpal right there, right. How'd that feel?
Wow, it felt amazing.
Awesome.
I didn't know that could pop.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about what we just did with Evan here. There's 7 vertebrae in the neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So what we did with Evan, we adjusted right here at the 5th and 6th cervical vertebrae, freeing up that nerve that goes from here. It's like a wire that goes from here all the way down the shoulder, the arm, the forearm, and the wrist. And then what we did with Evan, there's 8 carpal bones. Carpal means wrist in Latin, okay? So let's look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. What we did there is we adjusted the carpals to help free up something called the carpal tunnel. That allowed this median nerve that goes right through this carpal tunnel, and it allowed this nerve to be freed up, allowing more nerve distribution to these 3 digits right here. Right. How'd that feel?
Wow, it felt amazing.
Awesome. So that's what we just did with Evan. That's why he's going to feel great. So to reiterate, adjusted 5 and 6, freeing up the nerve here, and adjusted the carpals and the wrist to help free up that median nerve distribution, which is right here. And that's why Evan's going to feel great.
Hey YouTube family, a lot of times we get patients that come in our offices and they have what's called an organic complaint. So what do I mean by that? I mean something not musculoskeletal. Like the number one thing we see organically, an organic complaint, is what's called acid reflux or heartburn. Now, a lot of people suffering from heartburn or acid reflux, they're like, Like, why would I see a chiropractor for acid reflux or heartburn? Well, I'm gonna show you why right now on this chart. So, right here in your middle back, this is called the thoracic spine. And the thoracic spine nerves, they originate in the thoracic or middle back, and then they go to like what's called a junction box. It's like a circuit breaker. It's called the celiac plexus. And then they branch off to all these different organs listed here. Now, we can see that the T6 vertebrae, thoracic 6 vertebrae, goes to the stomach. So if that nerve is being pinched and the nerve flow is being blocked to the stomach, let's go over to some of the symptoms. Stomach conditions, including irritable bowel syndrome, indigestion, and look right here, heartburn and acid reflux. So a lot of people would have no idea that a vertebrae that's out of position in their middle back could cause acid reflux.
You see?
So how does it happen?
And you don't know that until you get your spine checked. That's what we do here. We do thorough examination and x-rays to make sure that the structure is properly adjusted and all the nerves are flowing to where they should.
So I just saw a patient and his lower back was hurting right here. This is called the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint, okay? He's been having lower back pain in this right joint. He's done everything, the medical care. He comes in here to the chiropractor. We adjust his right SI joint and he's 100% better. We're gonna be taking a picture of Mr. Bones right here. He's actually 122 years old. I know he looks a little emaciated, but that's okay after 122, that's normal. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take a picture of the cervical spine, which is right here. There's 7 vertebrae in the neck. The x-ray beam is going through right here, so watch this, guys. So we're gonna come over here. Now what you see right here is actually a rod that goes up and down the Mr. Bones' cervical spine here. And so that's just to keep the skeleton upright. But we're actually looking at all these bones right here, so we look at the alignment of all these vertebrae. Isn't that cool?
I had migraines for 3 months daily.
My cousin had migraines and she literally has to shut the whole house down, lights off, and she's like miserable.
Yeah, they had to send me home from work all the time.
So how did you get the migraine fixed? Did you take medicine?
So, no.
What'd you do?
I don't take medicine. The doctor told me to take medicine. He gave me medicine that actually had side effects that could probably kill you.
Oh my god.
And so I decided to come to the chiropractor. And it took 3 adjustments that they were gone.
And that was it. And you're like, why didn't I come sooner?
Yeah. And so coming in here, like I don't have hip pain anymore. I don't have knee pain anymore. And I'm like, woo, I can
know.
stand up all day.
I
Joyous.
know. And no migraines?
No migraines.
Isn't that crazy?
I haven't even had like headaches and nothing.
100% better after what, 3 adjustments, Jim?
What causes that migraine relief? Like, how do you get
Can I
that?
show you on the skeleton?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so Janet, who we just talked to, had a misalignment or a subluxation of this first cervical vertebrae right here. So what happens when that first vertebrae goes out of alignment, okay, the number 1 effect are headaches. So she goes to her doctors, takes medication, Advil, Aleve, whatever, but it doesn't do anything to realign your spine. So by realigning her spine, we took the pressure off C1, the first cervical vertebrae, and her headaches resolved. That's how chiropractic care works.
Instantly. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then what does medicine do? Does medicine just blocks the pain and then it comes back?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, and
Yep.
then this, when you make that adjustment, then you don't need the medicine because there's no pain there.
100%. Let me ask everybody, how many headaches do you think are normal? The answer is 0. There is no such thing as a normal headache. So I had a patient the other day say, Doc, I get normal headaches 5 days a week. I'm like, what's a normal headache? There is no such a thing as a normal headache. So if you're out there suffering from headaches, a lot of the times it can be this upper vertebrae that's misaligned. Let me ask you guys a question. How many out there actually suffer from headaches? I want to hear, like, comment, or let me hear how often you have headaches, because I'll tell you what, there's no such thing as a normal headache. What happens is over the course of time, your spine just doesn't get that way overnight, so you don't put your head on the pillow one night and all of a sudden wake up with all these problems. It's a slow, gradual change over the course of time. So slow, subtle changes. And then that becomes your new normal, and then you don't really feel like that's your normal, but you don't realize how bad you are until you start getting adjusted, and then you start to feel better, and it's like, aha, this makes sense.
Why didn't I come
Why didn't I do
years
this
ago?
before? And so I have patients, then probably one of the number 1 things they say is, why didn't I do this before? Why didn't my medical doctor tell me? And that's actually a good point. So my dad was a medical doctor. So they look at things differently. They don't evaluate x-rays, so every patient looks like a prescription. So the doctor will write a prescription for this and that, then you have side effects from that. So no offense to doctors. Doctors are amazing people, but they look at things differently, and that's the beauty of chiropractic care. We're turning over stones that have never been turned over by a medical provider. Hey, we love our medical doctor friends, but they definitely don't do what we do.
Hey guys, we really hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Accelerated Health. Now remember, you gotta do the 4 things. Like, subscribe, comment, and hit that notification bell. We'll see you next week.